What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Just me today. Let's get right into it. Thursday Night Football was last night. Cowboys pick up a win in a phenomenal game. We finally got a good Thursday Night Football game. Dallas wins 41-35. Back and forth, very high-scoring game. And now, so Dallas picks up the win, so they get to 8-3. Seattle drops to 6-6. We had some NFL news off the field. So Von Miller was accused of an assault charge. They put out a warrant for his arrest. He's being accused of assaulting his pregnant girlfriend, and he actually turned himself in. So something to keep tabs on. Of course, he is one of the better pass rushers in all of football, future Hall of Famer. Obviously, a big part of the Bills, who are struggling a little bit right now, sitting at 6-6 on the outside, looking at the playoff picture in the AFC. They got a couple of tough games coming up. They get Kansas City. They still have to play Miami. So their chance of making the playoffs are getting a little slimmer as things get closer to the end of the season. And if he ends up getting suspended or has to miss time, that would be a huge loss for them. And hope everything turns out okay there, because that's a very serious accusation. And Deshaun Jackson officially retired, three-time Pro Bowl receiver. Main with the Eagles, also had a short stint in Tampa as well as Baltimore. I believe a very short stint with the Raiders as well. He has officially retired. The year hasn't been in the league in a couple of years. Corey Perry, the now former Chicago Blackhawks player, who of course there was some weird stuff going on. He was just cut. He wrote his statement, apologizing to everyone. He said, it does not involve his teammates or any of his friends. So the whole accusation that he slept with Connor Bedard's mom is not true. He said he is seeking, help for mental health and for substance abuse and for alcohol. So maybe he has some sort of drinking problem, which maybe have tied into mental health. So I hope he gets the help that he needs. With MLB free agency on the horizon, the winter meetings, I believe, are very, very soon. I think it's like the 4th to the 6th of December, and today's the 1st. So if y'all can start listen to Christmas music now if you want. I know some people like to listen to Christmas music, before December even starts. I like to wait till December, but say it's December 1st. So the Mets have made a couple of small moves. They actually, this is a really small move, but they signed Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s brother. So it's Vlad Sr.'s other son and Vlad Jr.'s brother. I don't know too much about the kid. He's an international free agent. He's only 17 years old. Apparently, he's not quite the player that Vladdy is, but they said he's an above average. He's at least an above average hitter. He's got potential to have a lot of really raw power. Very good athlete. Kind of same concerns that people had with Vlad Jr. With this is his body type. Obviously Vlad Sr. was much more, thinner, and both his kids are a little bit more stocky. So that's like the only one concern with him. But apparently he is very talented, and the Mets picked him up. And it's funny because they also have Ronald Acuna's younger brother in their farm system. Luis Angel Acuna was the star prospect they got in the trade from Texas that sent Max Scherzer to the Texas Rangers. And in fact, I would not be surprised if he comes up maybe in August or September, potentially be a potential all-star. So now they have two younger brothers of two MLB stars, which is kind of funny. They signed Luis Severino to a one-year deal worth $13 million. Also, Joey Wendell, 1 year for $2 million. People have been kind of freaking out. I think some of these Mets fans do need to chill the hell out. Look, Severino was awful last year. He was maybe the worst starting pitcher in baseball. He had an ERA over 8. He cannot stay healthy. I think his days as a full-time starter are done. But, he once, was a potential star. He was an all-star his first couple of years, and just, too many arm problems have really plagued him. But, the Mets need starting pitching depth badly. They're going to need some sort of swingman if they sign Yoshina Yamamoto, who they appear to be the front runners for. As a Met fan, I am hoping dearly that they sign him because he would be a perfect fit. He's a chance to be a stud in this league for a long time. Obviously, a stud in Japan. Obviously, you can enjoy Kodai Senga at the top of the Mets rotation. Mets need starting pitching as bad as pretty much any team in the league. So I'm hoping they grab him. He's there for depth, Yeah, wasn't my favorite signing. No, I mean, I think 13 million's a little rich for him. But you never know. Maybe if he sells into maybe his like that like swingman role. I might give him the opportunity to like maybe compete for the 5th starter spot. If he wins it, great. If he struggles, then he can move him to the bullpen, or maybe give him a stint in AAA, or have just move him. It's only for a year. The Mets payroll was already had last year was what 350 plus million. The extra, if they waste an extra 13, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Steve Cohen doesn't care. He's the richest owner in baseball by a country mile. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. If it doesn't work out, and if he doesn't win, maybe like the 5th star spot, I'd put him in the bullpen as like a long man. They'll help him limit his innings. Maybe help to keep him healthy. Maybe can help you there, but. And then Joey Wendell, look, I know he's not a great hitter. He's a 263 career hitter over 8 seasons. Only hit like 213 or 217 last year, but he's a really good defender. He's there to be. That's Luis Guillorme's replacement. They non-tendered Luis Guillorme. That's his replacement. He's Luis Guillorme. If just as good defensively, can also play second, short, and third. Is a plus defender at all 3 of those spots, and probably is even better hitter than Luis Guillorme. Maybe not last year, but career-wise, yes. He's got playoff experience in Tampa. He was in Miami recently. People saying, "Oh, they're Will Ponds again." Like, shut up. For he just started. They're not bringing Luis Severino to be their ace. They're bringing him in for depth. They're not bringing Joey Wendell, to be their, that's not the big bat of the offseason. He's there for he's there for depth on their bench. But more baseball news: the Reds signed Emilio Pagan to a 2-year deal worth $16 million. He's actually the highest paid player on the Reds now, making $8 million this year. About he's a solid reliever. He's been around for a little while. He was in San Diego at one point. He was also in Seattle. So he's been around. He's now in Cincinnati. And the Milwaukee Brewers extended one of the best prospects in all baseball, Jackson Chourio, who has never even played in the majors yet, 8 years, $80 million. So, he killed it last year in the minors, mostly in AA. He got promoted to AAA towards the end of the year. At this point, he's got to be on the opening day roster now. You can't give a guy $80 million and start him in the minor leagues, I don't think. Before the deal, I would have said probably like a mid-season call-up. I was saying maybe like June or July. Now that he's done that, I think he's got to be on the opening day roster. I mean, a few years back, like 5 years ago, I would have said, all right, they'll probably put him in the minors for like 3 weeks so they get the extra year of service time. Then come up, now that's been since abolished, I think he'll be on the open day roster. The kid can flat out hit. He throws a shot. The Brewers have a lot of young talent. They need bats. It makes too much sense to me. So he should expect him on the open day roster. And he's a prime candidate to be possibly National League Rookie of the Year. So we've had a game that's been flexed in the NFL. For the first time ever, a Monday Night Football game was flexed. So it was supposed to be in Week 15, 2 weeks from now, it's supposed to be Chiefs and Patriots. That's been flexed out, and it's now Eagles-Seahawks, which would be a good game. Eagles have the best record in the NFL. Seahawks are competing for a playoff spot. Chiefs obviously are Super Bowl contender. The Patriots absolutely suck. Chiefs are going to destroy them. So I see why they do that. Aaron Rodgers returned to practice. I don't care, to be honest. Just season's over. He said that he's only going to return if depends on health, which is not even full. Not even there yet. I mean, I don't know what this guy did. 3 months after returning his Achilles, he's able to practice. Like, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. The fact that he could, by week 16, after, the fact that within 15 weeks of tearing his Achilles, he could be playing again is absolutely insane. I don't know what modern medicine technique he used. I know he's got his very interesting opinions on that, but say what you want. It seems to work. Because he, within 15 weeks of tearing his Achilles, something that, most guys it takes a year to come back from. He's going on 40 years old, and not even 4 months later, he's going to be able to play. Apparently. Also, depends on if the Jets are competitive, and they're not going to be in the race by week 16. I don't think. They're 4-7. They've lost 4 in a row. The season's basically over. To me, it's fully over. They have Atlanta this week. That's a winnable game, I guess. They still have 2 games against Miami. That's going to be tough. I mean, their defense might keep them in it, but they can't score. And the defense is going to get tired, and eventually they'll get caught on a big play or two, and that'll be the knockout punch. So yeah, I don't have really any confidence at all. Like, all right, they can be Washington. Washington is just as bad as the Jets are. This week against Atlanta. Atlanta is not great. They're obviously only in first place because of how bad their division is. So maybe they win that game, and maybe they beat New England in week 18 because New England is even worse than the Jets. That being said, they haven't beaten the Patriots in 8 years. So I don't know. Their offenses are both equally disgustingly bad. The Patriots might be starting Malik Cunningham, their third-string quarterback, converted undrafted receiver from frickin' Louisville. But they haven't beaten them in 8 years. So their offenses are both atrocious. Both have good defense. Jets is a little better, but Bill Belichick has had the Jets number for years, since he told them to go F themselves after one day after being named their head coach and took the Patriots job, and then went to win 6 Super Bowls and torture the Jets for the next 2+ decades. So I don't know. So to me, and then I don't see them beating Miami. They're at best they'll be probably 7-10. So I don't expect to see Rodgers. And if he wants to, and he's under contract for next year, I'd rather him just if they're out of the race, just sit out. As much of a tease it would be to not see him this year, besides the 4 plays, obviously, sit out. Come in 100% healthy for next year. At this point, it's the Jets. I expect the worst at this point, but at least try again next year. In the offseason, retool the offensive line. Maybe bring in another receiver. Obviously, you already got a championship level defense. Maybe make a coaching change. Hacking with Rodgers could probably survive. Maybe make some changes to your staff, and then try again next year. And obviously, if that doesn't work out, then you blow his whole thing up. Aaron Rodgers, his contract will be up. He'll probably just retire at that point. Sal will be gone. Hackett will be gone. Joe Douglas will be gone if these guys aren't gone already. I've been calling for those 3 guys to be fired for a week at the end of the season. We'll see what happens. All right, to close out today's show, I think I'm gonna recap Monday Night Raw from this Monday. So to open up, we had Randy Orton come out, and he cut a promo, and he was saying that he has unfinished business with the Bloodline because they put him on the shelf for almost 2 years a while back. He was then interrupted by Rhea Ripley. So they go, yeah, congrats on the win, and you look as dangerous as ever. But he said, you gotta be worried about the Bloodline. And then Randy Orton comes out and says, this whole time all I've heard is mommy this, mommy that, mommy. And he goes, guess what? Daddy's home, and that was very funny. And then he was ambushed by Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor, and then he fought them off, which led to a match between him and Dominic Mysterio, and of course Randy Orton won. Jamie McDonald tried to interfere, it didn't really work. Jamie McDonald, he's had a rough week with the getting RKO. No wonder his neck is in a neck brace. And the Creed brothers, when we won the tag team turmoil, so they will face the. They knocked off the New Day. Well, first Alpha Academy. DIY started off with Alpha Academy, and then it was then the Creeds eliminated DIY, and then they beat the New Day and Imperium. Not Gunther, just Lubbock Kaiser and Da Vinci, whatever his name is. So they will be challenging the Judgment Day for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. He had Cody Rhodes was cutting a promo, then he was attacked by Shinsuke Nakamura. That was very cool. They showed him on the big screen. He was doing a promo, then also the lights came on, he was right behind Cody Rhodes, so that was very cool. Bronson Reed fought Ivar, that ended up in a double countout. You had Nia Jax defeated Zoe Stark. I'm not really sure why she's Nia Jax is in WWE, but she is. Then he had an exchange between Gunther and The Miz backstage. Of course, Gunther beat him for the Intercontinental title. He actually said, Miz, that he does belong in the ring, it's not with him. Then Seth Rollins put a promo, and then, Drew saying, that he's looking for a challenger. Then Drew McIntyre comes out and says, you were right, me losing to you was the best thing to ever happen to me. But, I want a rematch. Rollins says, I think you deserve one, but there's are people ahead of you, and McIntyre says, tell me who it is. Rollins, he hesitated. He was like, all right, I'm going to be straight with you. I gave the opportunity to Jey Uso next week. Of course, McIntyre hates Jey Uso because he feels he cost them the Universal Championship at Clash of the Castle months back, and then he attacked Seth Rollins. They stormed backstage, and Sami Zayn confronted him and got in his face, and then McIntyre says, all right, I'll prove it against you next week. So, Monday, this upcoming Monday will be McIntyre against Sami Zayn in a one-on-one match. And then in the Women's Tag Team Championship, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green defeated Tegan Nox and Natalya to retain. And then the main event was the CM Punk promo. He basically, thanked everyone for always chanting his name and to, I'm home. Everything I've wanted is always here. He's saying, that he's changed, that he's changed, and then as we went off the air, he said, I'm home, and he goes, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. Before we close out, I want to talk a little bit more about CM Punk. I talked a little bit about CM Punk on Monday, or I think it was on Monday with Justin. Yeah, it was on Monday with Justin about CM Punk. But I want to go a little further. I don't like CM Punk. I've been very vocal about that many times. I never have. I think he's an overrated wrestler. Although he is great on the mic, obviously he brings in ratings. And by his return at Survivor Series was absolutely shell-shocking. It was incredible. I do think if there was a time to bring him back, this was the time. It was executed perfectly. I was shocked by it. It's the greatest return in WWE history when it comes to that. It was absolutely incredible, and the atmosphere obviously was great. It was perfect. That does not change my opinion on CM Punk. I still think he's an overrated wrestler. I still think he's a bit of a bitch and a locker room cancer. My opinion has not changed on him. It has not. From what I've heard, obviously certain guys don't like him. Obviously Seth Rollins hates him. Doesn't seem like Drew McIntyre likes him. There's a lot of guys that don't like him. Obviously you saw Rhea Ripley mocking him at Survivor Series when he came out. Kind of like behind the scenes kind of thing. So. Will it work out? I don't know. I've heard and read that there is a behavioral clause in his contract. Look, if he's truly changed and he's able to, move forward and not be the same locker room king that he always has been, this could be great for WWE, and it'll move his legacy forward a lot. If he continues to cultivate in the locker room, he will be gone. This is not AEW, where it's a freaking clown show. This is the WWE. Triple H and this company runs a tight ship. If he goofs off again, he will be out of a job like that. And his wrestling career will be over. There is not a faction on this planet that will hire him. Not WWE, obviously. Definitely not AEW. Not New Japan, not anywhere. I don't even think TNA would hire him, though I think if I'm CM Punk, I would rather die than go to TNA. TNA's been irrelevant for the last 15 years. So, my message to him, don't screw this up. This is your second chance. So, most people in life don't get a second chance, and he's gotten multiple. This is your last chance. Don't screw it up. It's fine if you're here to make friends, not make money. I mean, that, on one hand, it's like, oh, that's kind of the mindset he's always had, and it obviously hasn't worked. That being said, I can't disagree with that kind of mentality myself. So just Punk, don't screw it up. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long and have a great day.